Hey everyone, welcome to your weekly reading for the week of July 10th through July 16th. I am Erin Gabriella. I am a nature witch, an intuitive empath, and a tarot and oracle expert. I have a website, eringabriella.com, where you can go to see bookings, and I have a special 33% off all spells and sessions if you're interested. All right, so let's get started. This week it's not a low week. I'll just say that it's a week there's not a lot of new things for me to mention, because really what we're doing is we're just building off of the week before. Like, the week before was a massive week. We had Independence Day, we had 777. Now it's really just about continuing to integrate what we've experienced these last few days. I mean, it's been a huge shift between the last time I talked to you on, I made the last video July 3rd, until now. I'm recording this kind of in the wee hours of July 10th on Monday morning. I'm just noticing a lightness. 777 was so beautiful and fun, so much gorgeous energy. There's a lightness, there's a brightness. If you have experienced anything that I've experienced, maybe a new clarity on issues that you might have been confused about or that may have been plaguing you. I had just been very, felt like I just didn't know kind of the next steps to take in terms of my move. I'm just kind of, excuse me, just been kind of bouncing around. I just haven't really known where it's all going. So I just got some clarity around that and just some confirmation that I'm on the right track there. And I feel like in some capacity, might be coming from many of us this week and into next week. I'm getting the Ace of Swords, which is a new idea, a new clarity, and I'm being drawn to this olive brand. So whatever this new, I think this is an olive, it looks like olives to me. Whatever this new clarity that's coming in, I think it'll come in for many of you. It's going to give you renewed hope, renewed vigor, and move you more deeply into your peace. So it's really just about accepting the new energies that are coming into your life, accepting love, accepting positivity, and not sweating the small stuff. I'll give you an example. I am kind of in between pattern. I'm about to leave Turkey. I'll be out of here in a few days. And I'm very happy because Turkey is just not my place. Like, the energy is just very, third dimensional, I think is the phrase that I would use. Just the overwhelming majority of interactions I have are with people who are just trying to take advantage of me, and I have to set boundaries, and it's just like, it's really sad and it's really relentless. I am currently in a new place. I had to leave my old Airbnb abruptly because it was unsanitary. Like, there was like a huge urine stain on the mattress. I won't get too much into it, but when I asked for a refund, the host declined and tried to say that I was the cause of it. So he tried to blame me, but thankfully again, like a very powerful witch who doesn't take kindly to lies, and I had Yeshua on my side. I called on Yeshua, as I had, if you watch my my video on the 8th, I think it was the 8th of July, how Yeshua wanted to come in as a strong masculine. So I just called on him just around the situation, and I was able to provide irrefutable evidence that there was lies afoot, and I was able to get out of there. And the host messaged me and was like, let's just leave this out of each other's reviews, like implying that if I reviewed him, he was going to review me. And I was like, you did not silence me, sir. So I put up my review and just got hit with, like, on my feed with a blast of just more lies. And it just kind of like, I could sit here and allow that to upset me. But again, that's a distraction energy that's trying to come in to help me lose focus on the fact that I do have like a new clarity around my purpose, my mission, like long-term in terms of my living situation, and just a whole new realm of spiritual study to look into. And I'm going to focus on that. I bring it up not to focus on the negative, but just to bring it up that even people like me who I just feel like things are going well overall. I still have like bull crap, you know, but it's like, what are you going to choose? Are you going to let the bull crap kind of take you over and throw you off track? I hope not. I hope you stay focused on what your soul and what spirit is guiding you to do. It's asking you to remain in 0 point, to just stay neutral, to try to hold compassion as much as you can, even if other people aren't going to do it and if they're going to lie. You can't control that. But, you know, some people are going to be reckless. There's like a reckless energy. Some people are just off it. I mean, I've mentioned this before. It's like a war energy. It's like a desire to drag out conflict, anything but be exposed, anything but take accountability. You know, please remain not blind. It's not about remaining blind. It's about allow us seeing beyond the senses. So this Two of Swords is asking us to see beyond the senses, go more deeply into the energy of water, such as flow, and surrender into the light of the divine. Continue to speak your truth, and everything's going to be okay. You know, the issues that you have are just minor bumps, and everything will be okay. So that's the big theme. It's just moving more deeply into divine flow, allowing the energies that came in last week to just kind of wash over us in a positive way, and to choose light, to choose love, because there is, you know, quote unquote dark energies on this planet. There is distraction energies on this planet more, and they seem to be acting up more than ever, more audacious than they've ever been. But it's really just about ensuring that you don't let it drag you down. You stay in a high vibrational state. You stay in a detached state. This Two of Swords is really about detachment. A detachment from taking things personally, detachment from your own perception of what you think your life is supposed to look like. I hear a lot of people are still clinging to old, outdated versions of who they are, what they're about, and what they should be achieving in this life. And I think that that is a mistake. It's time to realize, and people have said it so many times, but it bears repeating, this world as we know it is, you know, it's changing forever and it's never coming back. There are new systems being built. So what you're being asked to do on this week ahead is to, and really from now forward, is to look to the future. Recognize that things like 9-to-5 jobs that you work just because you hate are going out the door. That's why we're having the Great Resignation. That's why people, you know, are struggling in their careers. It's gonna get more intense because the universe is pushing you into a new direction, and that's what it's taken me most of 2023 to figure out, is that I used to work an IT job, and the IT job that I was working was fine. Like, it paid well, you know, it was okay. It's typical coworker stuff, you know. But really, it was just like I was doing so much work. You know, my health was taking a toll because I was doing so much work. And I feel like so many people who have jobs, or maybe in school, I don't know so much about school, you can let me know, but who are in the working world have similar situations where they're just kind of up against it. It's just like too tired, too stressed, too this, too that. I really feel like we've turned a corner. Like, it's just not necessary for us to struggle so much just to put food on the table. And to believe that from this week forward, I think is to cling to an illusion that's just not there anymore. And I really think that this week, and really from here into the new earth is fully built, that realization will slowly start to dawn. But it's just like, how fast does it dawn? Let's pull some more cards. This video will be shorter than my others because I'm quite tired. And also because, like I said, it's really just a continuation of last week, but in a positive way. You know, there's not as much deep purging, trauma cleansing. It's really just about looking the future and what the future holds and letting that settle. So it's alone time, meditation, tapping into your magic. You know, now isn't a great time to do rituals for manifestation. Now is a great time to move on from past hurts. The Five of Cups in reversed. Upright, it's about crying over spilled milk, focusing on what you've lost instead of what you have. Not this week. Not this week. Focus on these cups, because these cups are like, I'm getting the image that like almost like these cups are made of plastic and these cups are made of diamonds. Why would you focus because you spilled some plastic cups? Focus on the fact that you still have it all. It's so beautiful. And the 5, I'm being drawn to the 5 energy, which is the energy of change. I think that it's easy for us to be conditioned into focusing on the negative. We live in a society that convinces us that that's what we should be doing. You know, the news, always so negative. They hunt for the worst headlines that they can. Reality TV, drama, it's like, even like, I remember when I was in school, and every now and then someone would break out into a fist fight, and everyone would gather around and be like, oh, I'm like, fine, I don't know. What the hell is that about? You know, like these days, if I saw someone getting into a fight, a physical altercation, I would run in the opposite direction. I would not sit there and stand around like some old gladiator shit. Like it just feels like back in the Roman era when they used to fight in front of people, you know? It feels like it's like that old energy. Like why? Why are we interested in getting into fights? Why are we interested in perpetuating fights? Why are we interested in watching people fight? These are the kind of things that need to come up for healing. We need to start asking ourselves, like, why do we care if we can afford a new car or not? Why do we care if we have Fendi or Prada versus Walmart? You know what I mean? Why? What is really the benefit? Or having like computers. Okay, even though there's a difference in processing speed though, but I remember one time I had a Mac, and my Mac was old. Like I'd had it forever, and I'm the kind of person that I wear technology into the ground. Like I do not buy new stuff to replace my old stuff unless it's broken or have a very specific practical reason for doing so. So I remember that I used to have a MacBook Pro. I used that thing all through college, beyond college, and the MacBook slowly started to fall apart. Like its little hood, you know how the MacBooks, like they open, this little thing would start to wobble. It wouldn't stay straight like on a MacBook. It would just kind of start to wobble. So I'd be typing and my little like hood would just be like this. And one day it fell completely back. So like it's like flat as a pancake. Like I don't have a nice L-shaped laptop anymore. And I kept using it. And I remember I took it somewhere before like the pancake moment when it was still kind of like this. I took it somewhere because I wasn't able to charge it because there was so much like dust and dirt in the cable, like the little charging cable, I couldn't charge it anymore. And I was like judged really harshly by the guy who was helping me. And I couldn't figure out why. Because it's like, why are you judging me because my laptop goes like this? Like, it works. You know what I mean? And it's just like that. Why are we so like obsessed with the little things? Like, God forbid my laptop shakes a little. You know? I can still check my email. I can still work. Like, what's the point? I remember that, what's another example, Sphere? Okay, a pen. Why are you giving me an example of a pen? Okay, I'll tell you this one too. I was at work, back when I had my 9-to-5 job, and you know those little ballpoint pens in those clear cases with the little rubber holder? I wish I had one near me, but I don't. It had broken, like the outer case had shattered because it's plastic, but the inside was still good. So I took the little ink tube out from the plastic pen and was just writing with the little pen, and everyone was looking at me like I was crazy. They're like, what, your pen is broken. Why are you using it like that? I'm like, excuse me, it still has ink. Like, I don't need like the pretty outer casing of the pen and the little clicker thing. All I need is that tiny sliver of ink in the middle. Like, no, I don't need. And it's like Spirit is asking us to do that, to go back to basics and recognize that you need food that's nutritious, hopefully. You need shelter, you need water, and you need love, and you need sunshine. That's about it. If you have that, you're blessed. And if you have that, you don't really need anything else. And it's asking us to also redefine what independence looks like. I think for many, is that a little fly? For many, independence has looked like getting as much money as possible. But people get all that money, and then what do they do with it? They buy houses, again, shelter, something to cover them while they sleep. That's just bigger than maybe what most of us use to cover us while we sleep. And why? Like, what is the purpose of all those extra rooms? Transport might be needed depending on your specific needs. But then if you get more money, you end up with fancy cars. It's like, in terms of function, what is the difference between a Mercedes and a Toyota? Like, your job, like you buy the car to get from point A to point B. You don't need a Mercedes. You don't need a little Jaguar on the front of it. That's just empty status symbols that don't fill you up and don't bring you any happiness or joy. So Spirit is asking us to turn back to the basics and turn back to joy. Returning back to the basics is what is going to return us to joy. Returning back to nature. What's real? You know? Other living things. Supporting our own life and physicality. And as we can, supporting others. That is what is real, and that is what matters. And moving forward in the future, that is where the opportunity and abundance is. Abundance of all forms. We're really going to have to be relying on each other. I think I have a theory, and I don't think I'm far wrong, that part of the reason, from a spiritual perspective, that prices are going up and people are getting to the point where they cannot afford to live alone or, to live in the big city, is because we're being asked for more communal living. I think that's where the planet is going. More communal living and more farms and less cities. And I think that this divine design, this divine chaos of this the structure that we're in as a planet, is happening the way that it's happening on purpose, so that it'll push us out of the cities and into nature, out of solitude and into community. And I think that, and this is coming from a hermit, like I do not hang out with people, but I think we're being pushed into that state whether we like it or not. And I really feel like this week is the week of radical acceptance, whether it's just like the train is leaving the station, just get on the train. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to argue. Just get on the train. And because you don't want to be left behind, because there's nothing nice in the behind. That's a weird phrase. That's the truth. Okay, the other cards, I'm getting the Devil coming up for this week. Yeah, Temptation. This also feels like crazy ass people. Crazy ass people. Distraction energy is what it is. Distraction energy. It could come in the form of a nutter. You may know them, you may not. It might come in the form of strange cravings, food, anything of the old that you're tied to. I think there's a potential that it could test you this week and ask you to look at it so that you can bring it up for healing, look at it in a new way, and have the choice to move away from it and closer into whatever it is that Spirit wants you to do. This not just us as individuals, but the entire planet has a calling collectively. And I just really feel like from this week forward, we're being asked to move completely into both our individual and collective contracts and goals without hesitation and without any more delay. It just really feels like a strong, steady forward movement. The moon reversed. There's a lot that's hidden from our collective view as a world. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that uncertainty is understandable. But we're not meant to know everything. And it's okay that we don't know. Because why? Maybe there's no because. It's just okay that we don't know. We're meant to not know everything in advance. And it's time for us to just be really comfortable with that unknown. And the Page of Cups, as we continue to purge, there might just be some emotionalism. Again, I'm seeing this with the Devil. And maybe this is why I was called to bring up that story with that crazy Airbnb host. It's just like emotional immaturity, like someone lashing out in a negative way due to emotional immaturity. It just feels like keep moving, you know? We'll pull a couple more cards, and then we'll go into the dailies. Like I said, this will be a shorter read. Okay, authenticity is coming up again. You're beautiful just the way that you are. The Swan. Okay, so I'm getting the message from Spirit that a lot of us have been, oh my gosh, it's almost like we've been settled into the role of the ugly duckling. It's like, because if you remember the story, I believe, of the swan, it's like everyone thought it was an ugly duckling, but it was really a swan. Is that the story? It's so many of us are still convinced that we are an ugly duckling, that we don't have anything special to offer, that there's, that we're unworthy. It's time to shed all of this and fall more deeply into authenticity, because it's through that authenticity that you find your path. Like if you're feeling confused, uncertain, or you're trying to get kind of to the mountaintop, trying to get to the mountaintop, overcome your obstacles, you need to realize your unique swan essence to get there, or else it's going to be hard. You're going to be confused, unnecessarily stressed out. Just lean into your authenticity. And if you don't even know what that is, because I'm getting the sense that some of you have been pretending so long, it's like you don't even know what authenticity looks like for you. That's okay. You can set the intention to discover your true self and ask your guides to reveal that for you. And it will be revealed in time. Super interesting. Okay, a couple final cards. Whew. You have everything you need. Yes. Notice the little things and take your time. You are cared for. You are loved. Everything really is going to be okay. And it's through, ladybugs are also a sign of abundance and luck. So I think it's interesting that we got the ladybug here. It's the little things. It reminds me of, it's a reggae song. It's called The Simple Things. I don't know who sang it, but you can look it up. I really feel like if you, that really accurately describes the energy of this week. It's like the simple things are your blessings, as one of the lines from the song. So definitely look it up. It's again reggae. It's really just in the simple that we find the sacred. And it's in the simple that we find our joy. If you think about it, like, aren't you guys so much more happier after you've spent like a day on the beach than you are when you're at work? But how simple is it to just sit on the beach? You're not doing anything. Just sitting there on the sand, sun on your face, staring at the ocean. So simple. But that'll make you happier than probably the next 2 weeks in the office, But you're doing all these complicated tasks, trying to get deadlines, trying to go to the meeting, trying to juggle office politics. Like, no, you were never meant to do that. None of us were. It's really done. And we're just watching it die. And as I've said before, like, don't hold on to something that's dying. Consider this your fair warning. It's time to consider something new, a new path, a new career, a new something, and it's time to take a look at that. There's no rush. If you don't have it figured out today, that's okay. Getting the energy of the turtle will take your time. It takes time to get to know you. But this week you're being asked to do that. Get to know you. Take some time. Ask yourself questions. Even like one thing that I think is interesting is those questions that you buy, well, actually you can buy them, but a book full of questions that you can ask a date. It's like, don't get married unless you've asked these questions, da 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 da. I think I have an old book like that. And it's like, take yourself out on a date. Ask yourself questions. Like, what would you do if you're in this situation? What would you do? What is your belief about blah, 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 like life after death or whatever. And why do you think that? Take yourself out on a date and kind of ask yourself these probing questions. I think it'll be really beneficial for you to kind of get a better sense or better understanding of who you are and why you do what you do. I don't think you could ever know yourself too deeply. And I really feel that this week we're just being asked to be aware of who we are. And if we don't know who that is, uncover that, because the energies of this week really support self-inquiry. Yes. And I've been guided to just move some Keepers of the Light Oracle cards. So I have, I'll start with Sir Pispe. Move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. And this is 100% true. I'm being drawn to the Egyptian energy and the energy of infinity. Like, you are always cared for. You never have anything to worry about at all. Let me get my lighting together. Okay, there we go. It's time. We're ascending. It just feels like more than anything this week, just remind you that we are ascending. We as individuals and we as a planet are ascending. It's time. Like, it's not enough talking about it. It's time. Like, it's now. Live the life that you want to live and rise above the darkness. They just can't get to us the same. Not unless we allow it. Keep your boundaries strong. Faith. Have faith. Stay calm. Trust the good in yourself and others, and see the light in the world. Like I was saying before, we have a choice point. We can choose love or we can choose fear. That is a choice point in all moments. And now I just really feel like the stakes are higher than they've ever been, because the amount of love and joy that you can experience by choosing love is so much greater, and in my opinion, than it's been at any point before this week. And the amount of suffering that you can experience by choosing fear is so much more intense than it's ever been. I mean, everything's getting so much more intense. So just lean into the intensity of love. I'm getting the energy of heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. So I really feel like this is coming in strong. Just a return to community. A return and the erosion of toxic hierarchies. We've talked about this a little bit before, how toxic hierarchies are eroding. It just really feels like it's breaking down within you. When you awaken to divine love, you don't care about the shoes, the clothes, whether or not you're out of the house by a certain age. It's just about, is there love in your life? Yes or no? If so, you're doing great. In devotion, trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved. Beautiful. All right, so that was the weeklies. We're going to go into the dailies. Again, reminder, you can always check out my website, ericaviela.com, if you'd like a private reading or a personalized healing spell. I'm so out of it. Excuse me. All right, dailies. Monday, July 10th.